Good morning. Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of the Happiness is Real morning show, your daily dose for happiness. My name is Camilla Kalbeck. I'm your host, founder of Kalbeck Coaching and transformational coach. This episode is brought to you by Kalbeck Coaching, where we help executives thrive before, during, and after divorce, and we help them create an even better life on the other side of divorce. If you want to know more about who I am and my company and how to book a discovery conversation, go to www.calbertcoaching.com. And let's then dive into today's episode. I am so super excited to talk about fear factor, the fear factor. And the reason why I dive into the fear factor today is based on all the conversation that I have with you lovely people reaching out for support. And obviously, as I go into the different scenarios or stories, it gives me an opportunity to reflect once again on my journey. And there is one thing that shows up, and that is fear of losing out. And there's so many types of fear, and that's why I want to dedicate this episode to fear and how to know how to spot your fear, because it is so important to create more awareness. That is my belief. That is what I come to understand. Create more awareness of the fear factors, because when you are aware of your fear factors, do you know what can happen? Or what will happen, you will move faster through that fear and turn that fear into a support, a thought that supports you. All right. So, with no further ado, just let us deep more into the fear. Fear, it's a thought that keeps you in the known and it keeps you from moving forward. It's that simple. There are some fears that we are aware about. There are also a lot of fear factors that we are not aware about consciously. So that is in our subconscious mind. And it may those fear factors may be those fear factors that really hold you back from moving forward. And those fear factors may be the ones that would open up or would emerge when you have a deep and meaningful conversation with a therapist or a psychologist, whatever, that really knows you and can really discover what is really holding you back. Fear Fear, as I mentioned, fear comes in different flavors, and I present different flavors and different colors. And it often, what I'm come to understand when I'm helping people, even either plan to divorce or finding the new life after divorce, it's about what have you been used to tolerate. And that's often the main reason why you don't move forward, is you become used to what to tolerate and what is, yeah. So it's like if you don't get, I was about to say what not to tolerate, but that may be not a fear anymore, right? But there's so many fears. So let me just share a few with you, and I'm going to share my story as well on how I build a relationship with fear, and how I turned fear around, and how I'm so fast now at spotting my fear and embracing the fear so it doesn't hold me back from what I really want to achieve. What I learned, and what I see in many stories, is that fear of, we'll say, losing out financially. And maybe that you make the most money in your family, but it may also be that your husband or your partner has the biggest income. Whatever, whoever makes the biggest, whoever has the biggest salary, when you put it together, it creates a standard of living. It's your financial security. And there are so many people who, even though they suffer in that relationship, the financial situation holds them back from moving forward. And that comes to another, that's another episode, or another, that's another theme for this, for Happiness is Real morning show, is about planning your financials, because it's so important not to be dependent on your spouse. But financial security is a big fear. It's an underlying fear, and is a main reason why people don't move forward. Another reason for not moving forward with filing for divorce is your identity. Or it's not so my, I don't know, that's a fear to be uncovered, but it's not a fear, at least in me anymore, and has never really been, but maybe not so true anyway. But your identity. So there's a lot of people, and I don't say it's right or wrong, but there are a lot of people that really so tied into their family, and the family make up your identity. It's like when you go to work, there's a lot of people who have that job, whose job is their identity. So I think I was so lucky to work with a coach before I actually planned my divorce, that I got to understand what my life values were, what were my negotiables, what were my non-negotiables. So fear of losing out, of not being who I wanted to be, or who I consider myself to be part of this family, was not so big a fear factor for me, but it certainly is for other people. And that is maybe another reason why you constantly don't file for divorce. It can also be a reason why you don't move forward after divorce, because you look in the past, you remember the past about this shiny picture. Maybe it's not so shiny from the inside out. From outside, it looks really great, right? That's another fear, and that really determined, or was a key reason why I procrastinated divorce for quite a few years. And that was, what would people think of me? It's like, I mean, like it's like 50% of marriages, they break up, right? 50% of first time marriages, they break up or fail. So I was certainly not alone, but I felt I was alone in this divorce world, and that is a typical pattern I spot, and that's the reason why I stepped up being a transformational coach, because divorce, you should never be alone. It's the second highest stressor, and you should never be alone. But either way, I felt I was alone. And my fear was, like I mentioned, what would people think? What would people think, and what would they say? Like, stay in it. And actually, I lived my life for quite some years, because stay, he's so nice, he's so nice. So I stayed. And but the fear was, what would people say and think about me when it was me breaking up the family? But it's also about turning that thought around and say, I'm proud of what I've done, because I'm serving myself. Another fear factor is like, I can't find love again. What if I don't find love again? I can't find love again. And that's another reason why people stay in a relationship that doesn't serve them. But here's what I know to be true. It is that you have every opportunity to spot your fears and turn those fears into thoughts that set you up for success. And if you've followed me for a while, you know that I've talked about, I'm very into this. Do you think thoughts and then generate feelings that takes you uphill, or does it take you downhill? You can imagine, and you are most likely have the answer. Fear takes you uphill. It doesn't make your life any more fun or joyful. So find thoughts and embrace thoughts that make life amazing. Make life amazing. So and I'm so an open book when I go online, and that's the way I inspire other people, and that's my hope. I inspire other people to move forward much faster than I did. So I learned about fear factors the hard way. I learned about fear factors the hard way, and I was not aware about that. And I can say with as an observer, because I embraced my fear. And actually, as I'm talking, I have one article up on my body responding right now. My body, my I recreated wrote an article, and it's all about being in bed with the enemy. It's about fear, and so there was a lot of fear, and that procrastinate. I Because of all the fears I had and the limiting belief that I couldn't do any better, I was stuck in a relationship that didn't serve me, and certainly it didn't serve our daughter. Um, so embrace your fears, right? Embrace your fears. And that's one trick I encourage my clients to embrace, and that is to write down your top 10 fears and give them a different flavor. Give them a flavor, give them a loving voice where you turn them into supporting thoughts that sets you up for success. It may not be straightforward. For me, it wasn't straightforward. And that's the reason why I work with a coach. But I can say it was so enlightening to start working on my fear factors, and I am now so good. I can't say whether I do it in the moment, because become such a subconscious mind, a conscious mindset tool I have in my toolbox. But I can say that I'm very quick at spotting how I react when it comes to a fear. And I can also share that the fears that I had 6 months ago or 12 months ago, they have no meaning today. And I just want to shout out loud, because that is so important to showcase, is that when you embrace your fears is just thought, and it's about turning those thoughts around so you live your best life. That's a birthright, to live your best life. um Woo, that was really powerful for me, because it is really true that the fears I had, they are no longer part of my system, my part of my DNA. And it's just like, all right, now here we are again, but you can't fool me, and I'm controlled. And that's what I talked about last time. It's about creating your destiny, and creating the destiny that you want to have. Like, how do you want to live your life? How do you want to live your life? You want to have the most beautiful life. Then commit to yourself, and reach out for whoever you want to talk to, who can help you, among other things, about working on on your fear factors, so that you can move forward faster, much faster than I did, because I did it the hard way. All right, so let me just see my notes before we're coming to an end. All right. So, what I want to say in closing is that, had I even known my fear factors um, much earlier in my personal development journey, I wouldn't have procrastinated divorce for 2 years, because I would have worked my fear factors much earlier, right? And I would have asked for help so much faster. That was a fear, the fear of asking for the county for help. What would they think? What would they think, that I was a mommy who could not manage or support my child? So that fear kept me for, I hope, luckily not for that long, but it did surface that I was afraid. I was worried. I was anxious to call and ask for help. But I also learned that, and I advocated that in one of the earlier episodes, asking for help is so much powerful. So that's a turning uh, the fear factor into a powerful experience, and that you can do when you have the mindset, and you know what key to push to turn your fear factor into a loving and supporting thought, and that will just get you skyrocket into your new life. That was the episode of today, and that was the topic. And we will dive into to fears in different from different perspective for this week. I hope that you took away what would help you best, or what will help you best to create the life that you want. Remember, you only have one life, and it's your birthright to enjoy every moment. And don't let fear come in the way. Step on your toes so that you procrastinate the one decision that will just be a game changer for you. If you found value in it, please take a moment to drop me a comment, as well as send a screenshot and share the episode on your social platforms to help friends and your loved one thrive through major life transitions like divorce. And always remember, happiness is real, and it's not so far. You're not so far away from happiness. Actually, it's just around the corner when you're committed to change and work on yourself and reach out for help. It is so true. Wherever you are on your life journey, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And as I say, the tunnel doesn't have to be long and you can see it, but it can actually be very short experience when you know what to do, and so that your next chapter of your life can truly be your best one yet. And it's my honor to be on your journey with you and support you through this process. This wraps up today's episode. Remember to tune in daily for as inspiration and practical advice to help you create a more thriving, happy, more joyful future on the other side of divorce. Bye for now. Let's tune in tomorrow. Bye.